Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
And it's great to thank you for joining Sikh Channel on this extremely historic, auspicious occasion. We're very excited here today at the Sikh Channel studio. We have lots of visitors. It's very early in the morning, but you've seen downstairs there's dozens of people already here at the studio. This year represents a huge historic celebration for the Sikh community, which you're well aware of. It's the 550th Gurpurab birth anniversary of the founder of the Sikh faith, Shri Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So the first thing is really many best wishes to you and to the Conservative Party and to all your team on this auspicious occasion.
Well, can I start off by thanking you for inviting me on what is, I know, a very, very special day, and just to say many, many congratulations to the Sikh community, really across the whole of the West Midlands, on the 550th Gurpurab. And obviously we're going to just spend a bit of time reflecting on the meaning of today, but it's an honour to be here to be able to pass on my respects today on this very special day.
Thank you very much, Andy. And as you're aware, it's a very important occasion for the Sikhs across the world, not just here in the West Midlands. And you've been to lots of events. You've been involved in the 550th celebrations. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so it's been a privilege to be part of them, actually. And so I started the celebrations, as the community did, almost 12 months ago now, with an event in central Birmingham. And it was with the Royal Bank of Scotland Sikh Network. Now, that might sound an odd place to start, but the reason I was very interested in that is it told us about one of the principles about earning a good living in a moral way. So right at the beginning of this year, we were beginning to think about the teachings of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and how significant they were for now. And then, of course, bringing us more up to date, at the weekend, there was a brilliant event at the Willenhall Gurdwara, where again, we learnt so much more about the teachings, and it was a cross-community event, because what I've been so struck by is the way in which the Sikh community has reached out to every other community to try to think about how their principles apply in the whole of society.
And if we reflect and we look back on the message of the Sikh faith, 550 years is quite a new faith compared to some of the older faiths. And it's a very modern, progressive faith as well. And some of the messages, some of the ethos that's been given to us by all the 10 Gurus, because I should also mention, whilst we celebrate Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Gurpurab, we celebrate all the Gurus, because whilst they were 10 human forms, they were one spirit and they had one central message. And that message really is, as humans, as mankind, we are all one, and we should all pray and reach out to the same one God.
So that's what's so significant really about today, just to reflect on those teachings, those principles. And what I've really learned is that the principles are so relevant to the whole of society. So the principles of mutual respect, of unity, of equality, and of course we see these played out every day in your approach to langar, and of course we see it in the charitable sector, where your principle around seva is also played out all the time. So I should just say, on behalf of everybody else, thank you for the influence that you've had on wider civil society.
A lot of the values and ethics that you've mentioned, Andy, are just emerging now in the last few years, very recently, perhaps starting over the last 100 years, the values of equality of men have started, and recently we've seen more equality for women. But these values were founded over 550 years ago.
That's what's so fascinating, that Guru Nanak Dev Ji was so much a sort of pioneer when he was talking about equality between males and females over 550 years ago.
That's right.
And it's so forward-looking. And I think also it's very much of the moment, if you think of the tensions in our society, the sort of need to bring harmony in our society. I think that's why this year these principles and teachings have just captured everybody's thoughts and imaginations that go well beyond the Sikh community, because it does seem so relevant.
In the daily Sikh prayer, our Ardas, Sikhs have been praying for open access and darshan and being able to pray at all their religious sites. And recently, with the opening of the Kartarpur corridor, our ardas, our prayer was granted, and that's a big historic occasion as
Yes.
well. I think you watched some of that on Sikh Channel, where you had a coverage
Yes.
starting at 4 a.m. Thanks to our Sikh Channel team, in particular, thanks to Karthik, Talvinder, Harvinder, all our team are working extremely hard. And that was a historic occasion where we saw the tensions between India and Pakistan
Yes, yeah.
reduce, with a historic occasion also to mark the 550th, the opening of an access, a corridor to allow thousands of Sikhs to visit an important Gurdwara.
Well, it's fascinating, isn't it, that the influence of Guru Nanak Dev Ji on today's politics has been incredible in the way you describe. So, yes, we've seen all the pictures coming from India and Pakistan, as you say, on Sikh Channel. And I should just say thank you for the way Sikh Channel has embraced the day, the coverage you've given, really incredible. And I know it's a challenge, but you've come through it brilliantly, so thank you. But the underlying point here is that there has been an opportunity for pilgrims, of course, to go to Amritsar, but also then to travel across the border to Gurpurab, exactly. And that is just incredible to reflect that, given the tensions between India and Pakistan more broadly, that a Guru Nanak celebration has given the opportunity for pilgrims to do that. And one has to say, the Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has been generous in giving that opportunity, and I'm delighted that your pilgrims have been able to go and do that. And just hope, let's just hope, it's the sort of, what's the word, the seed of a better relationship between India and Pakistan as well.
Absolutely. The Sikhs are known for their peaceful living, their peaceful message. Whilst we have a martial element to stand up against tyranny and to help the oppressed, we also have a very peaceful message. And hopefully we can bring peace between India and Pakistan. This can be the catalyst, and the Sikh people can help to bring these two countries together.
Well, that's what you've just begun to demonstrate with the Gurpurab opportunity. So, yeah, let's hope that we can build from that, because that, I know, would be absolutely in the spirit of Sikhism.
I'm very pleased, Andy, that you haven't simply joined the Sikh Channel here today to celebrate, to eat our delicious gulab jamun and jalebi.
Very sweet.
But you've also talked about the ethos and the message, and it's important, whilst we celebrate, we enjoy ourselves, we have a great time with family and friends. Wherever we are in the world, we celebrate the 550th, but we also remember the essence and the message of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, of the Sikh faith.
That's exactly right. And one of the lovely things about doing this job over the last 2.5 years is I've obviously been hugely welcomed by the Sikh community across the West Midlands. It's characteristic. Every Gurdwara you go to, if you go on the Naga curtains, then you just feel that everybody wants to welcome you. And I'm sure it would apply to anybody else as well, is the critical point. And so, yeah, I've really felt a privilege to understand the principles. And it's those principles that I wanted to come and just embrace really today.
Tremendous. Thank you very much. Andy Street, Metro Mayor for the West Midlands. Thank you for your best wishes on the 550th Gurpurab of Shri Guru Nanak Dev Ji, for all the Sikh community worldwide, and not just here in the West Midlands, but across the world. Thank you for your kind message, and particularly for your understanding of the message, which is very important. Once again, many, many best wishes on this special Gurpurab.
And thank you very much for including me in your celebrations, and very best wishes for your special day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.